Welcome back everybody, MaxWAL here, bringing you an episode of Oriental Empires. This is a fantastic alpha, or we in beta now, game that takes place in China, back in the Warring States period. I haven't played this game in a very long time, however, we're not going to start with a grand campaign, we're just going to go custom campaign, because we can do whatever we want in these types of situations. The game has been out for, I don't actually know since when, maybe 6 months maybe. There's still an alpha or beta testing by now. I haven't played in a couple months, but what's really awesome about this game is it takes in a couple different ideas from civilization and hegemony and all those types of games where we're trying as a single nation trying to explore, expand, and trying to conquer, since it's pure 4X type game. It's turn-based, and let's see what type of map we're going to go. I don't want to do Americas. Let's do an island continent. Let's do a medium size. China, Mongolia is fine. Let's just do a random seed. Yeah, sure, 6 is fine. Now, we have a lot of different types of nations that we can play as. A couple of them require you to play a certain number of turns before you can get there. I believe I have all of that done. I just cannot use these guys because only 12 factions. So 4 nations aren't going to be played because we're only using a medium-sized map. I don't want to play a super long game as the first game back for this. There's the Shang, Zhao. Each one has a different set positives and negatives that they do it, and they can be either a farmer or someone like the Dong Yi can be herders. And the big difference between that is, of course, herders back then didn't do farming. They used their animals and they moved a little bit. They still have the single city, but now they use the land around the cities as their herding grounds. Now, who I want to play depends. We can have there's 4 types of technologies: power development, cultural development, naval, no, not naval, but where are the other ones? It's like science, culture, technology for buildings, and then there's military buildings or troops or some stuff like that. So we have positive and negatives for combat or stuff like that. And what I'm probably going to play as is the Shang, because they have increased authority by 1, which means authority signifies how many civilizations or cities you can have. So you start the game with just 1 authority or 0 authority even, and you can increase your authority through technologies, which allows you to get more cities. And the more cities that you have, if you go above your authority limit, you get negative effects on nobles and peasants. I'll show you all that in-game. Now, the difficulty we're going to set is on normal, because even when I was playing a while ago, normal was still actually pretty difficult. They have done a couple of batches since I've played, but we're just going to play 300 turns at normal difficulty. Alright, I'm playing a farming faction. The key to your power is developing extensive farmlands and large population. So, yeah, we'll do that. Right, click. Alright, where are we situated? Oh, we have a nice rhinoceros right here. Ooh, and we got to settle up here. So, we have no mines around here. That's actually kind of disappointing. Alright, so there's resources that are specific to each hex. You could have absolutely nothing, but they can be specific terrain, or you can have stuff like wild game, which will increase 3 the food production in the city, which is actually very, very useful early when you get them. Now there's also fish, which is increased by 4, rhinoceros, which each one you hold gives you an extra 60 income per turn, which is great. And then you have mines. You have 2 types of mines. You have copper mines, which, as you go through technology, it increases the efficiency you can pull it out of. Or there's jade mines. Now, there's a couple other specific ones, like there's silk and whatever. I don't remember the other ones. But we can find more resources as we explore. Now, what these guys are encounter opportunities. So let us select our main guy here, go over here. Now, everything is done at the end of turn for all of these things, and we start with the settler at the beginning. But first I'm going to go through all of these on the right side here. So we have diplomacy, where we can see the player, our status with them, who they're allied to, and who are their enemies. We have no context yet, so that's fine. We also have our technology, so we have power, craft, thought, and knowledge. These are the ones. I totally forgot what they're exactly called. Power is, of course, military might, what we do with that. I want to go with a rammed earth wall first, and I'll show you why. We also now have this stuff over here. We can go through with silk weaver, we can create silk weavers in towns. Jade working increases culture, and jade culture improves the prosperity of cities, and it leads to a cultural victory. We have increased bronze trade, which means we have to get copper for this. We have enables construction of foundry, which is good for making weapons and increasing the ability of our units. And we can clear forests. Now, the reason I wanted earth wall is because I want this at some point. I want to get copper mine, gold mine, jade quarry. This enables us to actually dig deeper into this rather than just the beginning part, which you can just build a basic mining camp. Now thought. Oh, what do I want here? Probably gonna go with this one, creating the foundry and clearing forests, because this could be very useful. Now for thought. We can have different types of them, where we can have increasing culture, or maybe even increasing authority, where these ones also enable edicts, which we'll get to next. For this one, I'm going to go with just divination, trying to increase my authority so I can pump out some more cities as quickly as I can in the beginning. And the same thing here, knowledge as authority or effects for military. It's a very interesting technology tree, because you can do 4 at once depending on the situations. So let's select calendar, because after that you can select some other types of technologies that increase authority, and this one also does increasing authority. So that's it for now. Let's go to edicts. Edicts are something where, as we get more technology, we can get more available edicts, and a lot of them we definitely want to issue. The first one is Grand Commandment. Do not want to do this unless I'm really in peril. It gives you a general character, but it decreases your authority by 1. This is our city limit. Now, if we cancel it, we also still have a minus authority of 1 for 20 turns, and it costs us money to do this. So it's a very poor edict unless it's right at the end you need it. This is our financial situation, so you can say what's our whole game income, our last turn, or this turn income, and you can see where you get it. You get other. This turn we just started out with 200. Oriental estate gets us 150, all that fun stuff. Now, this is our player status. We have the player info of who we are and what our abilities give us, and a backstory of who the Shang are. We have our victory conditions, which we have conquest, is percentage achieved, son of heaven, which is you want 75% of the game's population to recognize you as emperor, and to do that you can either conquer the cities or go to them and say recognize me as an emperor, and they'll be like okay. Or I think if they're your vassal, they automatically do that. Cultural victory is you have 50% more points than the second highest, and you must amass 50 culture points. And do you get that, you find you build buildings, or you get technology or whatever. And the points victory is just like any other. You just need the most points by the end of the game. Now, influence is where we see how much culture and authority we get by specific things. And we can automate technology, new settlements, or farming. And usually I probably want to click automate farming, because it's easy to forget about that stuff. And the last one is statistics. Once we find people, we'll be able to look at how much better they are or how much worse they are compared to us. Now, let us look at what we have available. We have a mine and food down here. And we have 3 types of food if we settle anywhere here, which is absolutely fantastic. This city will grow like bananas. The good thing is, though, that our capital can pop out a settler right away, and you always want to try and get as many as you can right at the beginning, because you need these guys for doing work. So I'm going to send one of you up here. When it comes to rivers, you can't settle right on the river like you can't settle on this point. You can only settle 2 away. So here's the river, 1, 2 away, or on this side, 1, 2 away. And the same thing with mountains. You can't settle like here. You have to settle somewhere where you have just clear, no mountains anywhere in sight. So this guy I want to send up here, and as long as you're within, it says, it has to be adjacent or controlling it. And the easiest way to do this is if you settle, let's try right here. We get 1, 2, get that. We can't get that this. We get all 3 of them if we go right there. So let's do that. And another thing is you can see that there's an arrow pointing this way. This is good for military-wise, where you can adjust the rotation of where they're facing so you don't get flanked. Now I want to settle. See, I can't probably settle here or here. I can only settle in places like this, maybe this. That'd be a little bit pushing, but I'm probably going to settle as far away as from the city as I can while still being close, because as this place increases in size through farming and whatnot, it will take over these, it wants to expand. You want to give as much territory per city as you can. So it's a little bit bigger than just the 3 from Civ. Probably want to give you there. Because you can in the future build on hills and stuff that with technology. I think this might be okay, 1, 2, 3, and it gives you 1, 2, 3. It might be pushing it a little bit, but this seems like an okay place, so I'm going to send you there. This guy I am sending for here to encounter, and then I'll send up there. And this is our faction leader. Faction leader is kind of not that great right at the beginning, but we're going to get a faction heir right after. Now I did automate the farming, but I might as well just start off by building a couple of these, just for sanity's sake. Now, what can we build here? We have the palace, which is definitely needed, but it costs a lot of money to maintain. And you cannot build it until you have 10 population. Now, the reason you need a palace is because right here, a settlement upgrade, once you hit the population of 40, you're going to start to get overcrowding. And when you get overcrowding, it displeases people, of course. But you need a palace to do this upgrade. So we'll look at that in the future. We're not going to do it right at the beginning because, once again, the palace costs a lot of money. Now, I can do a bower, and I get peasant light archers, or I can try going with this, a bazaar. 2 turns to start this off. I don't need it right at the beginning, so I'm going to try and build a bower. The reason I'm building this bower is because I want to have the ability to build archers in the future. Now, I can also do another peasant militia, which I shall. And this little tiny thing right there shows you how many you can create. And once you click on them, they're automatically created. Of course, unfortunately, you can't create units in a siege place, which is a very good thing, because that means that enemies can't do that with you either. And you can see that the next one will come in 8 turns. Now, I believe that's everything that we can talk about right at the beginning. After I go here, I'm going to go here to get to this next encounter, which is Old Fisherman. He will provide maps, probably. Oh, local waters, yeah. Alright, provide maps across the rivers. And... oh. Okay, so this one might be useful. I don't know. There's a lot of them that are really useful, like they give you a technology or they increase your ability to get research. And those are the ones that are really awesome because they only cost a little bit of money to get them. Alright, we have an encounter. So I can show a location of map resource gold for 155. And what this does, it also, I believe, increases our map view. I'm going to do this because I want to get as much of these guys done right at the beginning. Alright, see, we increased a little bit of territory viewing over here. So we have gold, and gold is absolutely fantastic. Ooh, this really wants me to settle somewhere over here. I'm next going to go there. That looks fine. You guys are still doing that. We have 3 things on the side. We have a settlement view, we have the army view, and we have just an events view. What happens throughout our kingdom. You're still building that, but after that I want you to build this and this. One of the things that across here I could also show, this just shows the income and expenses of the city, the consumption and the production. So we're barely above it, which is actually not that fantastic, but it's fine for now. Now here we get to unrest. Unrest, noble unrest versus peasant unrest. And all of them don't like the fact that we would get authority above. So when we settle those 2, we're going to have a little bit of a downturn. However, there shouldn't be any problem until they get above 50%. And then even then, right at 100%, I think is when the worst of it comes. They will rebel. So they have some local factors, which is never really given to you as what's wrong. The last one is population. We can sell population versus growth and labor. Now, one of the things that actually is an interesting point in this game. Like in a lot of games, you just continuously want to build in your cities to expand. Now, the problem is that in this one, there's a labor service. Constructing buildings, farms, or roads, and clearing land means conscripting peasants' labor, and the factor will grow each turn that you conduct one of the above actions here. And if it gets high, we should give workers a few turns off. Now, this was last time I did this was a couple of patches ago, and I remember clearly I gave them time off, and it did not decrease nearly as quickly as it should. It would take probably like 20 turns for me of no working in that city for them to be happy again. So we'll see if there's any improvement there. And the last thing is this little tiny thing that keeps scurrying away, but it's important. It gives just a bigger picture of just authority and culture. So you know that we have a city limit of 1, which will break in like 2 turns. Yeah. But that's fine. We have a couple of things that are getting authority right now. Alright, I don't think I need to do anything else. We've completed this farm right here on the rhinoceros. We're still getting a good amount of money. We're still building stuff. Sounds good to me. Yeah. So, let us end the turn. Our people will get into position, and then we can settle in 2 places. Ooh, another encounter over here. Ah, we can get a royal concubine. Oh, I have you attached. I don't think I wanted you attached, but that's fine. Let's settle right here. And we get an amazing 12 right at the beginning. And we're talking about 10 from resources. And that is absolutely astonishingly good. Once again, it should automatically do this stuff, but I might as well just get you and go straight up. Might as well do the beginning part. Now we want a bazaar here. At the beginning, we're not going to get much. We get internal trade increase to items for trade. Now, the bazaar costs a lot of money, but for now it should be okay to just start off with that. We'll see. And over time, as the population increases, we'll finally be able to recruit people as well. Now we want to go down here and settle you as well. And from this, we now have as well food coming from there, and we can click on this button. This button allows us to construct outside of our territory or just build these types of situations. So let's see, what does a pavilion do? A pavilion increases noble happiness by 10%, and it scores 1 culture point. So if we want the nobles to be happier, not revolt as much, we need this. But it costs 30, so maybe not. Now, a copper pit is the beginning thing that you can make for copper mines. And we get 20 every single turn. So in 40 turns, we'll make even, which is a while from now, but it's definitely useful. So I'm going to start that because we have the money. Over here, we can also build a monastery, which increases peasant happiness by 20, score of 2 cultural points, but it costs 80, and it costs a lot to build. And the last one over here is a quay, or a port. And what this does, it allows you to trade over water, which is actually very good later on. Now, one of the ideas is usually you want to build everything. Like a city has any resource that you want to build it. The problem is that this game is really good in the fact that if you build, say, let's go to craft. If you build a pottery workshop in a city, you will get more money by trading to other cities that don't have a pottery workshop. However, if you build a workshop in all 3, you won't get the additional export bonus in those cities for the pottery. Now, it's up to you to decide which ones you want to build in or not. Like some places have things that increase ceramics work or increase silk work. But you don't want every city to have every single possible thing to sell. So you don't want every city to have pottery, silk, jade, even though jade is a little bit more rare, or these types of resources, because it will be going down in profit just purely off of that. because your export in your markets will be a lot lower, and I'm talking about a lot lower. You could go from positive like 500 in the game, and then you build this in a couple other cities, up like a pottery in a couple of cities, and you could go down to like 20. It's ridiculous how bad it could get. You were a wait, the encounter disappeared? Oh crap, the encounter disappeared because I built that city. Oh, I remember now. That was my bad. But that was just a guy to show me maps, so I'm actually surprised the air hasn't come yet. Well, that's fine. I don't need that. You're building there. So this one's automatically starting to... Actually, I don't remember if I clicked on that. I probably did. But after this, it should automatically start building the other things. We're still making 159. I'd like to find more rhinoceros because the money straight up is fantastic. And I want to get these two things very badly as well. Now, the good thing is that when I get this up and running, we get the copper from this, but then also, because these two don't have anything with regard to copper, I can sell them copper, or in this case it's the bronze trade, and I'll get an income with trading, which... Oh, I don't have this started built? Oh crap. I need money for that. Oh, I totally forgot about that. Alright, well, I'll do that right when I can, because that gives us some good money that's going to be coming out. These two are going to get that done in a turn, and I will be able to start that building next turn. At the beginning, there's not much that can be done, which is a little unfortunate, but it's overall fine. Now, depending on what we can do here is... Navigate... Okay, good. This will give us the ability to see what's out there as well. A good map guy. Create this, please. How long does it take to build this? Oh, 13 turns. Oy. Oy, oy, oy. I didn't think it was that long. Well, I guess that makes a little bit more sense. It takes a little while to build a building, but it takes a long time to set up a mine. Now, this doesn't really go by years, correct? No, I don't know if it goes by years or not. We just go by turns. So we'll see if we'll be able to see any of that. Alright. Oh, technology warning. I finished in the power. So I built this, so now we can build something else. Now, I probably want to go with this because it increases by authority. However, these ones are also very good. Increase food, reduce effects of any flooding, and we get well feed system, or we can also construct roads. Now, I'm going to go with this, then this, and this, and then this. Yeah. Improve trade, though, with that, with the roads. I'm definitely going with this first because of the authority boost. Because I still only have... Oh, I don't care about you. How do I deselect you? No. Nah. No, 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 no. I want to deselect you. Do I have to do that? Yeah, okay, I guess. I only have one authority still, so I need my technology to get there. You'll give me authority, you'll give me authority. I don't think you will, though. No, I get 2 authority from that, though. That's a good start. Now, there's not much over here, it seems. Alright, we got our encounter. Ooh, now this is one of those. Beautiful girl. I can always come back to this, which is good. But it's going to cost me money just for cultural victory points, which I don't really need at this moment. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Some bandits. And bandits suck. And they're going right in my path, which... I'll move you there. Alright, so we started trading. And we get... external trade of 1. See, it's not exactly profitable right at the beginning. But it will be as the cities grow bigger. And as we get specialized resources being built. Alright, end this turn. Oh, these bandits. They just stood there. What the heck, guy? Alright, our fearless leader. Oh, can only go there. Alright, our fearless leader has gained some more authority, so he's now at 3 fighting ability. I want to get another settler out. You don't have any, you don't have any at all either. Okay. Actually, do you have any... You can build the foundry, which increases... the foundry produces bronze. My apologies, but the copper can also be used to trade. The foundry is definitely useful. I want to build one. And these guys don't seem to have the ability to build settlers yet, so definitely going to focus my money into that. Oh, sorry. Forgot about these technologies. I can build an armorer, or I can go silk weaver, jade, and increase the value of the bronze trade, which actually might be a good thing, because I'm going to build the bronze trade in 6 turns. That sounds about right. Or I can do pottery. Let's go with the bronze trade, then we can move over to... yeah, move over to pottery, and we might go to this after that. You now. I need to get this, and the reason is because this needs stuff. Well, I'm definitely going to build this. As you can see, these technologies are from other technology trees, require me to build this. 3 guys that goes through here, and I also need it for that. So this would definitely be one that I'd look at. However, we have authority things over here, so if I get this, I can automatically get another 2 authority there. Which is very useful. And I think I'm going to do this. These 2 and then go here, because I want to get these as well. Let's get some culture. Let's get some culture in our cities. Alright, well, I'm going to end the episode here. We have to deal with possible bandits over here, which sucks, because I want to get this encounter. And we just need to explore and profit some more. So, I hope you enjoyed the first episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.